You know, I spent a lot of time waiting to do things, procrastinating on certain things that I wanted to achieve through fear of what other people would think of me for going down this venture or taking on this new direction to my life, something different. I was scared of judgment. I was scared that if I did something different, people would laugh at me. People would say things behind my back. So through fear of that, I would put things off and put things off and put things off. And even starting this YouTube channel, the start was something that took a really long time to come about. You know, it took me months and months. I've been thinking about starting a YouTube channel. It took me a long time to even make that first video. And then, after I'd made the first video, it took me a long time to gather the consistency because I was afraid of what people might say about me. But the common mistake here is that the people that I was afraid of, for some reason, I was afraid of them. But the mistake is that the people that I was afraid of didn't have anything to do with me. I wasn't friends with them. I hadn't associated with them for a long time. You want to know who it was? It was people that I went to school with. People that I was in secondary school with when I was 15 and 16. And I was scared to put out videos, aged 19 and 20, through fear that those people might see my videos, might see my attempt at making personal development content, trying to help people, and laugh at me. And that paralyzed me for a while and stopped me from doing the things that I wanted to do. I would tell myself different excuses as a justification to cover up the inner fear that I was holding. For example, I would tell myself, well, I can't make a video a proper video without a proper microphone. So I'm gonna wait until I can afford to buy a proper microphone. And then, well, I need a certain type of adapter for that microphone to go into my phone and film the videos and get the audio perfect, because you can't have a video without perfect audio. And then it would be that my phone quality, the camera on my phone, didn't have a high enough quality for YouTube. And these things start to stack and stack and stack. But the thing is, they're all rubbish. They're all justifications for the bigger reason, that I was afraid of judgment. But the thing that kind of turned this around for me, and that I hope will rub off on you if you're having problems starting things and getting lift off on certain things that you want to change in your life, is that I realize those people have absolutely no bearing on my life. When I think of those people, I don't speak to the majority. I'd probably say 1 or 2% I speak to. And when I think about my life, and I think about all the big things that I would like to happen in my life, I think about getting married, I think about having kids, I think about, you know, all these wonderful things, and eventually down the line I'm going to have a funeral one day. They're not going to be there for any of it. So I thought to myself, why am I then giving them the power, handing them over the keys of power to affect the decisions in my life, to affect the things that I want to do? Why am I allowing them to have any say over whether I sit down and film a video? Why am I allowing them to have any say over whether I start to produce content? And I couldn't find a justification. I couldn't convince myself that there was any rational reason behind me not doing those things for that reason. And for me, that was a big motivator to stop caring about that stuff and let it go and start doing these things. Yeah, it might be small. Yeah, the videos are only going to get better and better. You know, maybe I look back in a year's time at this video and I say, wow, Alfie, that really wasn't great. You know, you could have done a lot better. Your setup is very basic, and you know, your microphone's not fantastic, etc., etc., etc. But if you don't do these things now because of these little excuses that we like to make up that really justify and cover up the big fear, what makes you think that you're going to do it later on? These things can fester. And what I mean by that is that today you might have a reason as to why you're not doing the thing you want to do. And to be honest, you might really have convinced yourself that it's a solid reason and that you honestly can't do it. And now that's okay. But these things can get bigger. These reasons can get stronger. And over time, if you're not careful, if you don't self-regulate and start to get rid of these fears and get rid of these doubts, they can grow. And before you know it, you are having this constant negative self-narrative where every single time you want to do something, you're already in your own head telling yourself that you can't do it. You know, you analyze every situation, every single potential outcome in such fine detail. You're no longer just saying that, you know, you don't think you could do it. You're actually doing the calculations to justify why you can't do it. And it's a really sad state of affairs. So I would say to you, if you have something that you want to do, if you have something that you would like to change in your life, or something that you'd like to achieve, when is the moment, if not now? When is the time to say, you know what, I don't have everything ready. I don't have everything in place. I could be in a better starting position, but I'm going to go for it. I'm going to go for it, and I'm going to say, you know what, let's see how it goes. Let's see where I end up. Isn't that so much better than just trying to come up with these excuses and put it off and put it off and put it off? Isn't it better to just give it a go? Isn't it better to test some of your excuses and some of these calculations that you've done in your mind that you're not capable? Isn't it better to test that? Imagine how good you're going to feel when you've done all this negative self-talk and you've told yourself, I can't do it. I'm not good enough. I haven't got this bit of equipment. I haven't got that thing. I can't start without those variables. How's it going to feel when you prove yourself wrong? How is it going to feel when all of those excuses become null and void and you achieve success? The negative self-talk is only going to fester. Like these excuses over time, they get bigger, they get bigger, they get bigger, and they get more powerful. And before you know it, months and years go by and dreams die. Maybe it won't work out. Maybe some of these doubts are right, but you're never going to find out if all you do is the same thing. You're never going to find out if you never actually give it a go. But it could work. It could go right. And in my experience, all the thinking about putting down a camera and sitting down and talking to people and spreading some of the lessons that I've learned, all the thinking and all the doubts about doing that was wasted time. It was wasted time. And it wasn't as difficult as I thought it would be. And it was way more enjoyable as well. You know, I like making videos. I like putting stuff out there to the universe to try and help in any way I can. Maybe the videos aren't getting hundreds of thousands of likes and hundreds and thousands of views, but I know that if I put out a video and I help somebody, like one person, one singular person, that's the job done. And that's the point. And slowly, over time, these things build, these things improve. The only way I know that, though, is because I actually did it. So, what I would say to you is a lot of these things, a lot of these anxieties, fear around what other people might say and do, are completely out of your control. And if they're out of your control and you're spending all of this time thinking about it, then it's a waste of your time. If you want to live your life thinking that people are going to laugh at you, thinking that people are going to mock you, thinking that people are going to pick on you for doing things differently, then you can do that, but it's going to be a miserable life. Or if you want to say, you know what, all of those things could happen, but I don't particularly care. I am just going to do what I want to do. I'm just going to give it a go. I'm just going to suck up the courage and go, you know what, I'm going to give it a shot. Because maybe one day it pays off. And all those people who were, you know, in my head, and I thought might laugh at me, might pick on you, they might well be liking your videos, they might well be applauding you for the things that you're doing one day. But if you don't start, you're never going to know. Either way. Maybe, for example, like a lot of people, you want to get your first ever gym membership, but you've got all these anxieties and you've got all of these worries about going to the gym, go into that different environment. You've never done it before. You don't know how the equipment works. You don't know if people are going to be nice to you. You don't know if you're going to be walking around the gym and going to every machine and having to ask people for help, and you've got all these stressors about doing it. Well, what I would say to you is that everybody else who ever trained in that gym for the first time went through the same thing. They had the same anxieties, they had the same concerns, they had the same worries, and there they are in the gym. And I'm pretty sure 99% of people in a fitness environment are good and kind enough to help somebody and show them how to use that bit of equipment and give them different advice on their particular goal. 99% of people. It's so rare that somebody's an arsehole in that environment. And if they are, don't worry about it anyway. So if you're thinking about doing something like that and getting your first gym membership, I'd encourage you to just go and do it. Because over time, the fear's only going to get worse. The fear's only going to get stronger. The doubts are only going to get worse. The doubts are only going to get stronger. Just go and do it. Go and put yourself in that situation. Because I guarantee you, everybody else who has ever stepped foot in a gym in their life has thought the same as you. And now they're the people on Instagram. They're the people on Instagram that are putting out the photos that you're liking, that you're inspired by. If you actually get that membership, maybe one day you can be that person inspiring other people. But if you don't go and get that membership, you're never going to know. And you're never going to be in a position to do that. With the gym, there's another way I like to go in terms of advice. And it's a bit more of a sinister approach. It's a bit more, sounds a little bit darker to say. Sounds a little bit darker. But a lot of people think that they don't want to go to the gym because people might be looking at them, people might be judging them, and they feel anxious. Well, let me just say to you, you could go into the gym, and very, very unfortunately, you could go into cardiac arrest, and you could fall on the floor, and you could start having heart palpitations, and unfortunately you might pass away. There is still going to be a person in that gym curling their dumbbells. There's going to be a person in that gym who hasn't even put down their weights. And you've literally died. You know, that's how little people care about you when you go into that gym environment. This anxiety of that people are looking at you, that people are judging you. People are too busy on themselves. People are too busy and too focused on what they're doing and their goals to worry about you. That's another way to look at it. So if you've clicked on this video and, for example, you're a person that wants to get their first gym membership and doesn't feel confident enough to go and do that, maybe there's two ways of thought for you. If number one wasn't good enough, maybe number two will be. But this video is not about the gym, and it's not about that sort of direct thing. The messaging is pretty much about that if you have something in your life that you want to do, something in your life that you want to achieve, something in your life that you want to change, stop worrying about what other people think and start worrying about what you think. Start worrying about what you want to do. If you spend your entire life worrying about the thoughts of others, worrying about what people will think about the things that you do, you're going to live a sad life. And not only are you going to live a sad life, you're going to live a sad life where you get nothing done. So don't worry about all the things that you can't control. Focus on the things that you can control. And just do the thing. Learn from me, learn from my mistakes, take the power into your own hands and do the thing. Look, I really hope that in one way or another you've taken some value from this video. And I hope that if you have got something that you want to do, you're just going to go and give it a go. You're going to go and try. Because if you don't give it a go and you don't try, you're never going to find out. If you did take some value from this video, smash the like button and subscribe to the channel. I'm going to make more regular, unfiltered personal development content just like this every single week. And if you enjoyed today, you'll enjoy the next one and the next one. And I'd love to have you around. Let me know your thoughts as well. And there is a new link in my bio to a Discord group. And it is like a men's Discord group, and I want to get some guys in that group where we talk about some of our problems, we talk about some of our goals and aspirations, but essentially where we have a space to come together and talk and grow and learn from one another, me included. So if you're interested in that sort of thing, subscribe to the channel and then go check the link in my bio and click on it and join the group. I'd be really happy to see you there. Anyway, as always, thank you for your time and attention, and I will see you in the next one.